Before we start today's episode, I want to let you know there's another place you can watch some of your favorite LordanArts collabs, and that's on the Roku channel Mysteria. Both Uncovered with LordanArts and 3 Men and a Mystery are airing regularly on channel 548, the new Mysteria channel that features several of your favorite social media true crimers, including myself and our good friend Danielle Hallen. Dive into multi-episode cases with Mike Morford, Gray Hughes, and yours truly on 3 Men and a Mystery. Or dive into single-episode case reviews with Rachel Rosalette, Andrea Cipriano, and myself with Uncovered with LordanArts. Mysteria runs just like a traditional television channel. No need to search for what you're going to watch next. You can just leave it on all day and watch mystery after mystery. And the best part, it's all free. You can visit therokuchannel.com and just search for Mysteria, or use the link that's coming up here right now. If you want the big screen experience, get the Roku channel app installed on your smart TV. If you happen to have a Roku smart TV like I do, or a Roku streaming stick, you're already all set. Just head to channel 548 on the live TV guide, and I'll see you on Mysteria. Why did Aidan Clune run off into the Nevada wilderness? His footsteps showed that he was moving quickly through the terrain. Law enforcement tracked them for miles into the high desert until the trail was lost. With an investigative team that has more than 100 years of combined experience stumped, I think it's time that we turn on the searchlight for Aidan Clune. Welcome back to Brain Scratch Searchlight. I'm John Lordan. Thank you so much for caring about these cases like I do. And a big thank you to Moonlight for letting us know about today's case and helping us get jump started on the research. What did we find? It seems that 19-year-old Aidan Clune had some challenges in his life in Sonoma County, California. Aidan loves music, not only producing and mixing, but also playing guitar. He's known as a kind and generous friend, and Aidan would work very hard to maintain his strong relationships. A big challenge he faced, however, was the depression that he had struggled with since middle school. He suffered numerous setbacks throughout the years, but always tried to maintain a good attitude and keep pushing forward. That was until COVID-19 changed everything. The National Library of Medicine states that the pandemic has had an adverse impact on the physical and mental health of the public worldwide. In addition to illness in patients with COVID-19, isolated people and the general population have experienced mental health problems due to social distancing policies, mandatory lockdown, and other psychosocial factors. And the prevalence of depression and anxiety significantly increased during the pandemic. Recent literature from the COVID-19 Mental Disorders Collaborators indicates that the prevalence and burden of depression and anxiety has increased significantly during the pandemic. They estimated the addition of 53.2 million new patients with major depressive disorder and 76.2 million cases of new anxiety disorders globally throughout 2020. Aidan was hit particularly hard. His depression became more intense, and his family struggled to find him the same level of mental health care that they had access to before COVID. In 2022, his family noticed another wave of change, including that Aidan had begun to hide things from his mother, Amy. Nothing big at first, but this was from a son who had previously always kept his mother in the loop and usually wasn't afraid to talk to her about things. Aidan had just gone through a difficult breakup with his girlfriend and was stressed over finding a place to stay permanently so he wouldn't have to stay with his mother anymore. When he received his tax return, he spent all of it rather quickly, and then he stressed about that as well. Finally, his mother spoke to him about his behavior and his mindset and offered him a method to help calm him. She told him to relax, walk outside, and stand in the yard with his shoes off. This would help him connect with the earth, she said, and help relax him. Unfortunately, This didn't seem like a long-term fix. Soon, his behavior continued. Aidan worked at a couple of places in town, but even at work, his disposition changed even more. He became short-tempered with everyone. His mother tried yet again to get her son help, only to be told that Aidan would find that help on his own. And his depression worsened. He also began to become paranoid. He became convinced that people were out to get him. Every situation seemed sinister to Aidan, and he was suspicious and paranoid of everything. His mother didn't know that Aidan did try to find help for himself. He had seen a doctor, and he began taking antidepressants. Now, we've all heard stories about how these drugs can work wonders for some people. But in other cases, there are potential side effects, and some of those side effects can be severe. The FDA cautions that young adults between the ages of 18 to 24 who are taking an antidepressant may be at risk for an increase in thoughts of self-harm and acting on those thoughts. The risk seems especially high through the first few months of treatment, and the FDA suggests that parents, caregivers, and professionals should watch for signs of this happening. Now, we haven't found any particular information proving that Aidan was considering self-harm, but some of the other noted side effects do seem to be present. Those include worsening depression, anxiety, agitation, new or worsening irritability, aggressive behavior, hostility, and impulsivity. Basically, unusual changes in behavior, all of which his mother, friends, and family were indeed witnessing. That being said, we also don't know if specifically his antidepressant was driving this behavior, but I do believe that it's worth talking about these types of risks in relation not only to this case, but to all of our lives. It can be really, really difficult for a person that's dealing with new medications or deepening depression to be fully aware of those personality changes. And quite honestly, their best bet at knowing may be having caring family and friends let them know what they're seeing. At the end of April, Aidan did agree to seek further help. He quit his job and said he was going to go to counseling. But then, his mother said that he received a text message that sent him over the edge. The details of this message or who it was sent from are not exactly clear, but on April 24th, Aidan told her that he had to get out of Sonoma for a while, and he began packing a bag with enough clothes to last him for a few days. While he was gone, he instructed her to not answer the door until he came home. He stated that he would go and stay with a friend or with his father, whom he only had a vague relationship with, but he actually went a few blocks down the road to his cousin's house. He then called his mother Amy and told her that he would be staying at Bodega Bay in California, a place that was special to them both. Unfortunately, this wasn't true. He instead slept in his truck that night at a park in Santa Rosa. He also blocked his mother's phone, only to unblock her later that day. YouTuber Earthworm Infertainment did a long-form interview with Amy that we'll include in the links down below. There, we learned that his mother also had access to his bank account and was able to trace his movement by essentially tracking his purchases. On the 25th, Aidan stayed in Reno, Nevada at a Motel 6. At about 8 a.m. on the 26th, he decided he was going to live with his grandmother and her boyfriend, Debbie and Mike, in Salt Lake City, Utah. Everyone agreed that this change would be good for him, and arrangements were made for him to meet with them when he got to Utah, which was about a 7-hour drive. Aidan claimed that he had no GPS, and he wouldn't be able to find the home unless someone came to meet him. When he met his family member at a Speedway gas station, he asked Mike to ride with him to the home. Mike agreed, but he soon regretted his decision. On the drive, Aidan became paranoid and finally told Mike that they were going to go to Washington instead. When Mike said no, Aidan tried to take his phone. The two argued, with Aidan pulling over to the side of the road and kicking Mike out of the car, leaving him there on the highway. When Grandma Debbie called and told Amy what had happened, Amy knew that her son needed serious help. She called both Utah police and the Utah Highway Patrol and asked for them to have Aidan placed on a psychiatric hold. The agencies searched for Aidan, but they were unable to find him. He had apparently driven from Salt Lake City to a Chevron station in Wendover, which is a small town that sits on the border of Nevada and Utah. That would have taken about an hour and a half. There, he bought gas and withdrew $200 from his bank account before leaving and driving to Wells, Nevada, about an hour's drive away down US Route 93. He stayed there at a Motel 6 for the night. Wells is located in northeast Nevada with a population of just over 1,000 people. Two major highways cross the town, the east to west Interstate 80 and US Route 93, which travels north to south. Aidan spoke to Amy throughout the night. He was paranoid about the locks in his room, especially the door that joined to the next room. He was also exhausted from all of the miles that he had driven. Finally, he said he was tired and he needed to sleep. His mother read him a story, and at the end, made him promise to call her when he woke up. When he didn't call the following morning, she tried his phone, only to find that she had been blocked again. She then called police in all the surrounding counties and asked them to search for Aidan, as she believed that he was possibly a danger to himself or to others. They searched, but again, could not find him. Wednesday, the 27th, Aidan drove his 2007 red Nissan Frontier south along US Route 93 before stopping around 8 a.m. and parking on the shoulder of the road at mile marker 23 near the town of Curry. Curry is basically a ghost town with a population of only 20 residents. A rancher who lives in the area passed Aidan that morning at 8:15 and saw Aidan standing by the passenger side of his truck. At first, the man didn't think it was odd that Aidan was there, but a farmhand drove by at about 8:30, and he witnessed the young man moving items from his truck and then pushing them under a nearby fence. At 8:50 a.m., a state trooper found Aidan's pickup, still on the shoulder. He noted that the truck had a damaged rear bumper and duct tape on the driver's side mirror. The door to the truck was open, so the trooper closed and locked it. With Aidan's mother still unable to reach him, she called police on the 28th and filed an official missing persons report. Officers went back to the scene. They could see through the windows that his wallet, a Swiss Army knife, and most of Aidan's belongings were actually still inside the truck. His mother said that there was a tote that Aidan had stored some of his belongings in, and that was missing from the truck and still hasn't been found. His guitar had been taken from the truck, but it had been left abandoned about 20 yards away. His mother provided a spare set of keys so investigators could get into the vehicle, and it was noted that Aidan's keys and his cell phone were missing. Knowing that his cell phone could still be with him would give everyone another chance to track his whereabouts. Unfortunately, the last ping that we have for Aidan's cell phone is from the 28th at 8:07 p.m., and it shows that he was southwest of his vehicle. I believe his Google account might have been linked with their home computer. His mom describes that when she accessed the home computer, she could see his last Google search, and it was for spark plug replacement. Could that have been the reason why Aidan's truck was stopped at such an odd place? If it was, why would he have left his wallet behind? Foot tracks were found near the truck that showed Aidan went into the nearby hills. His tracks were said to show him running, sometimes with shoes and other times without, and also that he had crawled through bushes. Everyone knew time was of the essence. Curry sits at about 5,000 feet above sea level. The mountains that surround US 93 climb more than 8,000 feet. The weather was fair that day, but officers knew it would be much more dangerous when temperatures dropped with nightfall. There was a chance that they could even get down below freezing. According to the Elko County Sheriff's Office, many different agencies assisted in the search for Aidan, including the Elko County Sheriff's Office Search and Rescue, the Great Basin Canine, Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, Nevada Fish and Game, White Pine County Sheriff's Office, Lander County Sheriff's Office, and the Civil Air Patrol. Volunteers have also been out there covering hundreds of miles, some with canines, others on horseback, some on ATVs. There have also been hours of searching logged by aircraft. In total, 1,700 man-hours have been used in the search for Aidan Clune. Quote, "I've spent my whole career helping people in these situations," said Under Sheriff for Elko County Justin Ames. "We believe there's a reason he took off into the desert. We just don't know why." Aidan didn't have any warrants or anything that would make him want to run from law enforcement, but we do know that he was dealing with paranoia. And if anyone was actually chasing him, law enforcement would have probably seen those tracks as well when they were following his. His footsteps showed that he was moving quickly through the terrain. Law enforcement tracked him for 21 miles into the high desert before the trail was lost. Gusts of wind up to 31 miles per hour began to hit the area that afternoon. His tracks were eventually eroded by the rain and snow. The tracks were lost in the Cherry Creek Mountains, several miles west of Route 93. Sadly, on May 24th, about a month after he went missing, search efforts were suspended. Hikers in the Cherry Creek region were asked to keep their eyes open for anything suspicious as they used and enjoyed the outdoors. According to his mother, nothing of Aidan's has been found yet. Not a sock, no shoes, food wrapper, not even a drinking bottle. A GoFundMe was started by his mother, Amy, to offer a reward and to help cover their costs with travel and further investigation. In the write-up, Amy herself states that she believes Aidan was having what she calls, quote, "a primary mental health crisis." During her interview with Earthworm Infertainment, there are many more instances to support that conclusion. It does seem clear that Aidan was trying to get away from something, real or imagined. But of course, there's concern that in this frantic dash from whatever he believed was chasing him, there could have been a tragic accident. Of course, there's also the chance that he has somehow kept running. Amy knows that other people have disappeared under similar circumstances only to be found years later in other states. She hopes that Aidan is one of those stories, and so do I. If the reward money raised by the GoFundMe is not claimed, it states that the funds will be donated to local organizations that provide free mental health services to teens and young adults. Knowing that one way or another this money is going to help someone in crisis, it's on behalf of myself and my supporters that we're making a donation to this campaign. Since Aidan's disappearance, Amy has worked tirelessly to locate her son. To this day, she works to spread awareness of her son's plight. Another search is being held in the middle of May 2023. If you can volunteer, please visit the Help Find Aidan Clune Facebook page for details. You can find a link in the description box down below. Aidan is believed to have been wearing a black North Face jacket and black high-top sneakers with a gray hoodie under the jacket. He stands at 5 feet 8 inches tall and he weighs around 125 pounds. His hair is brown and his eyes are brown. That being said, he has been known to color his hair, and in part of the conversation on YouTube that his mother had, she did say that there was a possibility that he might have bought black hair dye. He has an Oakland A's logo tattooed on one ankle and a smiley face tattoo on his abdomen. Any outdoor enthusiasts that may be spending time in the area of Cherry Creek Mountains are asked to please be on the lookout for any clues that may assist in locating Aidan. If you do happen to have any information that can help this case, please contact Elko Central Dispatch at 775-777-7300. You can also contact the Elko County Sheriff's Office at 775-738-3421 or submit a tip to them using the Elko County Sheriff's Office app. Since 2015, we have always run limited commercial ads for the benefit of the viewers and the families we're trying to help. Obviously, we can't do that without support. A big thank you to PayPal supporters Amanda Beard, Jennifer Wilson, Larissa Mertshank, and a very special thank you to Kylie Conley. If you'd like to help, please visit LordanArts.com. There you can sign up for Patreon, sign up for PayPal, buy merchandise, or even just buy us a coffee like Ann Peters recently did. We really appreciate your support on our mission to run as few ads as possible and help as many cases as we can. Thank you to the Sonoma News, Elko Daily, ncbi.nlm.nah.gov, Earthworm Infertainment, and Wikipedia for information contributing to today's story. And again, thank you, Moonlight and Christy Arnhart, for pulling this all together. Also, thank you to everyone that is supporting Aidan's family on this very challenging case, including the numerous agencies, volunteers, and this amazing online community. Let's keep those eyes, ears, and hearts open and looking for Aidan Clune. I'll see you here again soon on the LordanArts channel.